Well, good evening and welcome to this week's Rebel Racers on E-Series. It is World Final time. We are coming from Coventry this evening, and 11 people booked in for this evening for this one, for the coveted gold fin plate. And we'll have 4 heats, and the heats points will be accumulated. And that will give us positions for the 20-lap World Final grid. So it's the World Final session tonight for the series for the Rebels before we take a short break and then come back with some more racing in a few weeks' time. It's been a busy series and lots of drivers come and gone. We're trying to regroup a few, of course, and hopefully come back bigger and stronger in a few weeks' time. But time for the World Final, time for the drivers to sort out from those out there this evening who will take the coveted gold fin plate, and quite a few drivers worthy of it, to be fair. You know, we've seen some good runs recently from Shane Geary, Ash Geary, Dave Carter. This week Shane Murphy was missing, and we had 1 or 2 up and coming from there. Nicole Emmett was on certainly on a better march last week in the lone car. Newcomers into the game were Harry Graham in treble 7, and car 100, the ex-Adam Rubery number, was Tom Davison. They were both certainly on it during the course of last meeting. So it could be anybody's race this evening. It certainly is looking fine from the pit area. And very tidy. As we know, Coventry in a state of vast repair at the moment, and it would be good to see somebody come back out and redo the track. So we are about to go racing very shortly for the first of the 4 heats for the Rebel Racers. So 1 or 2 just out there practicing at the moment. Lawrence Collins very strong through the series in 5:01. And Stephen Boyd in 3:69, and Stephen Aldgate in 51. Also with us is Rob Jones in car number 30. We were hoping to get Rob's father Mark, the ex-Briscoe Formula 1 stock car driver, out on track, and that's going back a long day. That does show my age and my association along the lengths of the sport. So I can remember Mark taking wins back in I think it was around 77, 78, and progressing up the grades a little tiny bit. So the stream is paused currently. We are just waiting to get the drivers onto the track. We'll be on track at Coventry very shortly. I think we're just waiting for them to play the national anthem on the PA, and of course then the obligatory fire service and ambulance service march out onto the centre green. And that was a thing that you would always see at Coventry Stadium, of course. And if you was in the grandstand, the smell of beer, booker pies and burnt onions would probably be the best way to describe it before the racing started. If it was a dusty night, then you've the smell of the dust coming up off the track. But what a track! What a track! I'm in my 55th, coming up for my 55th year this year, and I cut my teeth at a speedway meeting because it was easier to take me to the speedway meeting to I was teething apparently at Coventry. So that shows how long I've been in and out of Coventry Stadium. I raced there, viewed there, and like many, would like to see it come back. So the driver's just loading onto the track. When they're onto the track, we'll get them into grade order. We'll take them round to the grades. As I say, 4 heats, 14 laps for each heat. The accumulation of the points from the heats will give us a grid for the World Final, which will be over 20 laps. And then this week, instead of a Grand National, we will be having a Revenge World Final. May well be a reverse grid of the World Final. May just be as they come out the gate. It will depend, of course, on the drivers and what they decide. But please remember, this is just a game, and a very good, well-designed game, because in many formats it's keeping oval racing going across the country at the moment, with stock cars, both Brisker Formula 1 super stocks, bangers, and such things as National Saloon stock cars, which I was commentating on last night for Full Contact Racing when we did our Skegness weekend special. So yes, the UK Open was contended amongst the E-Series races last night at Skegness. Last weekend we was at Ipswich on the E-Series for a full weekend of racing. And they even produced a speed weekend programme, which was great to see. So here we are, we're out on the Shale. I'm just going to ask the line-up if Tom will take us. Tom, can you take us a quick ride round the track? Is that possible? So the viewers can see what the track's like from the outside, from the inside rather. So hopefully not going to... yeah, if you can, yeah, just on board the Rebel. So Tom's just going to take us for a quick ride around the track. And as the cars move into position, and you can see down the straight, nothing different there. And into the pit turn, the old scoreboard. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. And half it worked, half it didn't. And sometimes you would be looking to see who was in the lead, and if you got two similar numbers up there, well, you was in trouble. Down into the turns 3 and 4. Favourable to stand for a world final. Then into the home straight there, the grandstand, the restaurant, 2 bars, and the of course the VIP area. Well, the latter attended platform there on the middle, which wasn't very good to stand on. Certainly the weather didn't do the fly very good on that, to be fair. It's certainly been on that infield taking photographs as well as a photographer. So the track looking good, and as it should be. View from the outer side of Coventry Stadium. Of course, once dog track, speedway, and stock car stadium, banger track, and many forms of oval racing. So our drivers are lined up in grade order. Will be a rolling lap. The first heat will be over 14 racing laps. And good luck to all drivers, and let's see who scores some points and get up those into those positions for the World Final. There's Nicole Emmett back in their own car for this evening. Really well aboard a lone car last week. Tom Davison sporting the higher car this week. Tom Davison taking the number 100, the famous number of Adam Rubery, of course, the champion in the Formula. There's Rob Jones just joining the field of cars. So these cars in the E-Series have been graded how they have scored points. Shane Murphy, of course, taking a couple of championships wins along the way. 1 or 2 missing, Bradley Cooper and Ash Palethorpe, who started off with the series. But we're about to go green on heat 1, and the green flag is down. Nicole Emmett straight off into the lead then, and round goes 901, spinning on the turn there, and rejoins. So Nicole Emmett with the lead from Rob Jones from Go-Kart Brownie 900, who's been up and down a little bit with this series. Let's see if we can find some good form on the Shale here tonight at Coventry. In behind is Stephen Holgate on 51. Here comes Dave Carter on 548. Ash Geary, Shane Murphy, Davison, Shane Geary and Lawrence Collins in 501. So you can see the cars liveried up as per the drivers, and these cars are mostly being raced by the exact drivers that race them today. One of Geary's being took out wide there by Dave Carter. No doubt that will come back very shortly. Indeed, the attack on the inside line. Carter and Collins are involved as they come down into the turn. And Davison just ahead of the pair, but the bumper about to come in on Dave Carter very shortly from Geary. Just looking at the scoreboard, that's Ash Geary in behind there. So Ash Geary chasing hard, leaning on the curb, and Carter trying desperately to get away. Up the inside, forces him out wide, but Carter's surely going to come back with a good wallop to the bumper. Round he goes, he spins him round into the fence, and that's disposed of Ash Geary. Well, good look in your mirror, because Shane Geary's behind you now, and it's certainly going to be some payback from one of the Union Jack livery cars. Shane Murphy in the meantime though is taking the lead. So back to the lead car, Shane Murphy in the lead from Go-Kart Brown, and Go-Kart Brown driving excellent. So is Nicole Emmett, who gets a bumper in on turn 3 there. Can't move Go-Kart Brown, comes again, and she's chasing hard. Davison in behind in 100, and these three really fighting for that second place. We're just well over halfway now as we progress into the second half of the heat. Shane Murphy in the lead, and some battles going on across the field. Dave Carter's leaning on the inside of Nicole Emmett there to come through. Bob Jones in behind. Wide goes Go-Kart Brown there as Davison moves up into second. Murphy on the cruise though with the lead. 3 laps to go this time. Lone home track for Shea. Coventry lad in the lead on his home track. And certainly looking to progress towards the front of the field for the World Final, event 5 on your race programme this evening. Tom Davidson in second, a battle for third between Dave Carter and Go-Kart Brown as you go 1 from home this time. Shane Murphy takes the win. Shane Murphy backs the first victory of the evening from Tom Davison, from Dave Carter. James Go-Kart Brown in 4th. Lawrence Collins in 5th. Rob Jones in 6th. Stephen Holgate in 7th. Ash Geary in 8th. Nicole Emmett in 9th. And Shane Geary in 10th. So red flags, Mr. Starter, red flags. We'll retire the cars back to the pits for a moment. Quick check of the oil, scrub of the tyres, and we'll have them back out for heat number 2. So Tom Davison just nipping out at the game's coming back in very shortly. So first race of the evening and being taken by Shane Murphy, local lad on his own turf of Coventry. Of course, son of Keith Murphy, long-time driver in the Rebels, Briscoe V8 stock cars, and a couple of riders out in Bangors, if I remember right, at one time of day. So Dave Carter will be in third there. Of course, car 100 Tom Davison has just popped out and just been into second place on the scoreboard. Next up, heat number 2. Now, very confusingly, I have a view of the pit area with the pace car, the Rebels pace car, and it looks like Frankie Wayman Jr.'s transporter. So, I don't know whether the F1 stock cars are riding somewhere on the track, but always possible. Oh, right, okay, so Tom Davison's come back in with a second. His number is now changed to 461.
Non-essential personnel
So change of
now.
race number for Tom Davidson. Of course, granted by promotions and admins. The cars are going to roll round to the grades. And we'll be away for E2, getting over 14 racing laps. Here live from Coventry it is. Well, final night for the Rebels. Get them lined up and then we'll send them on their rolling lap. Yeah, flag about to drop as they go down into turn 3 and 4. Nicole Emmett very, very quick on the mark there as the flag drops and down the home straight. Much better driving as she's progressed through this series. And Geary's not messing about. They're going to set about each a run, Dave Carter, in this one. So there they go. 1, 2, first gear and second gearing. Just ahead of Carter in 5.48. Nicole Emmett leads from Go-Kart Brown in 900. Stephen Holgate in 51. He's just moved up into second and challenging for the lead on Nicole. Around the locker record, baby, goes James Brown. It's been a bit of soul, but rejoins the car back into the line of traffic. Nicole with the lead then from Stephen Holgate and Ash Geary. Tom Davison 461 up into 4th place. Shane Geary in 5th. Nice lean up on the inside there from Davison onto the turn. 1 or 2 finding that inner curb just about right. Of course the curbs are realistic in these games, and if you hit the curb, oh, rounds goes Nicole Emmett. Rob Jones is gone as well. That puts Holgate into the lead from Davison in 461. And Geary in 82. So a big change on that turn. Davison there in the icon just ahead of the Geary duo. Ash and Shane up. Oh, hello. I thought he was going to cross the corner then. Good job there's no grass left on there, Mr. Geary 8. It lingers the bumper from Shane on Ash, and I'm sure that will come back very shortly. Yep, there we go. Nice bit of side swiping as they come in and out the turn. Holgate leads them from Davison from a pair of Gearys. Shane Murphy coming up behind those two, so that's going to be quite interesting. Just over halfway. Stephen Holgate looking set for victory. And Rob Jones, Rob Jones with a suspension problem there, just catching Stephen Holgate out as he comes out the turn. And that's put him well down the field, back into 5th. Davison leads. Geary. And here we go. Shane Murphy getting the bumper straight in. Going to come back very shortly from one of the Gearys there. And Geary sandwich, not a good thing, one would say. So Davison with the lead from Murphy, from Ash Geary, from Shane Geary. James Go-Kart Brown launches at the pair of Gearys, gets it completely wrong and gain round like a record, baby. I'm just coming up to the close of this heat number 2. 1 lap to go. Tom Davidson, our newcomer to the Formula then, ready and set for victory in 4.61. Takes the flag. Ahead of Shane Murphy, Ash Geary, Shane Geary, Stephen Oldgate recovering there towards the end. Ahead of Dave Carter, and Cole Emmett. Ash Geary's just dropped down the field. Closing lap. Ash Geary losing out quite a number of places there. Lawrence Collins, Go-Kart Brown and Rob Jones. Closed off that one then. A victory for Tom Davidson. So race over. Heat number 3 is next. So Tom Davidson taking a win in Heat 2. Shane Murphy looking good for a front row position at the moment. We're second. Shane Geary in third and Stephen Oldgate in fourth.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Now who's old enough to remember the lucky programmes at Coventry? 5 lucky winners got tickets to the next meeting. Quick roll round to the grades then. And this one could be interesting because a lot of contact going on midfield in that second race. And a lot of battles starting to evolve. There's 2 heats down, 2 to go, and then at grid 4 the world final for the Rebel Racers here at Coventry. Rolling lap time. Steady pace at the front. The green flag about to drop any second now. And Nicole Emmett certainly quick off the button, gets away from Rob Jones. Rob Jones very quickly put the suspension back in his car, of course. Well, it's very little suspension in a Rebel, as any of you may well know. And certainly are a bumpy old ride around the Shale track. Nicole Emmett leads from Rob Jones and Lawrence Collins. Dave Carter, Shane Murphy and a pair of Gearys. Well, that can only come to tears. And the bumper being fired in by Shay on the Gearys there with Carter. Watching from the rear of that section. Stephen Oldgate's been for a trip to, I think he's been to the infield and back. Comes back out in the It's spun on the turn. Where did James Go-Kart Brown go? So he took a trip to the infield. We're on board now in behind Shane Murphy with Shane Geary. Now Shane shotgun Geary. That was 2 litres saloon on E-Series last night and banger on Monday. Very, very busy boy as Shane this last couple of weeks on the E-Series across the board. Shane Murphy moving 2 cars out of the way, Lawrence Collins and Rob Jones into second. Back out to 3 or 4 cars abreast in a nice deep track at Coventry for the Rebels. Also, I believe many years ago was where the Rebels were debuted at Coventry. I'm sure that I was there on that night. And of course, Rory Higgins also went into the fence and broke his back. Racing Rebel. The bumper's going in, and that was the turn, similar position but not quite as hard. Let's have a look back at the front. And Nicole Emmett's still up in the front then, and leading the way, just over half distance gone. Shane Murphy in second, Shane Geary in third. Oh, Nicole Emmett spun. Through goes Shane, and Shane with the lead from Shane Geary from Carter in 5.48. And they're chasing Dave Carter is Lawrence Collins. Just on board then with Dave Carter. Pit turn inside of Geary. Whoa, up and around we go. And Dave Carter just get caught out by the curb. Like I say, you can see it from the on-board view there. Everything's realistic in the game, and it reacts exactly the same. So Shane Murphy coming up for his second victory of the evening. Make 2 wins out of 4 and virtually securing that front row position. Rob Jones is spinner down there on the pit turn. And looks like Rob's just trying to rejoin. Last lap coming up then for Shane Murphy in car 81. Down the back straight then. And into the turns, and the checkered flag has dropped. Shane Murphy takes victory from Shane Geary from Lawrence Collins. Tom Davidson in 5th place, Dave Carter, Nicole Emmett in 6th, James Go-Kart Brown in 7th, Ash Geary in 8th, Steve Norgate in 9th, and Rob Jones in 10th. So Rob Jones way off to where he was a couple of weeks ago in the series, and certainly dropped off pace. Of course, as I say, we're missing 1 or 2 that started the series with us. Ashley Palethorpe started the series, and Josh Spires also not with us as well. He was well into good part of the series. Bradley Cooper, who took a couple of wins at the first E-Series meeting, of course. Hopefully we can get some more people interested in the Rebel Racers E-Series. We don't know when the Rebels will come back to the real raceway, to be fair. And I think most people have probably written off some formulas for this season. But it's not necessarily so. It just depends on who will allow how we can go racing. Of course, Aldershot on tomorrow behind closed doors. Or rookie bangers and unlimited bangers. Over 105 cars booked in. And you'll be able to watch that via Speedway TV. Got some racing to watch, and that does make a difference. So the car's just going to roll around to grades for the final heat before we go for the World Final. Yamco looking very smart and clean around the raceway. So home of many stock car world finals and some cracking races. This evening it is the Red Bulls World Final will take place on the E-Series. We'll be up very shortly. This is the final qualifying heat for the Rebel racers. Shane Murphy very much installed on that pole position at the moment. Quite possibly could be knocked a little bit further down if obviously outside, but the green flag goes down. Let's see what the results come out as we go into the final heat for the points accumulated towards this evening's World Final. Nicole Emmett leads them from Rob Jones. Then comes James Go-Kart Brown, who went for a spin on the infield run course of number 3. Very much out of shape there. Stephen Holgate went for a spin there as well, but they get fired into the turn there by Lawrence Collins in 5:01. Oh, Go-Kart Brown straight in there on the pit turn, fired in by Stephen Holgate. And a cracking hit there on the 900 car. Cole then from Bob Jones, from Lawrence Collins, from Stephen Holgate. And like I say, this could be anybody's world final this evening. Assuming the faster drivers that are going to get those positions are going to benefit from it off the drop of the flag. Certainly could be a lot of pushing and shoving as you can see is in this race already. And Nicole from Lawrence Collins still is your top 2. Stephen Holgate in 4th. That's Geary in 5th. Dave Carter climbing the ranks there in 5.48. Certainly battling away with the Gearys this evening, and in behind him is Shane Murphy. Murphy coming in with the bump then all the way into the turn. Geary has gone for a spin. Looking like cash. Geary got a spin out in 8.2 towards the end. Rob Jones has gone again in car 30. Continual battles going on through the field of cars. Cole just over halfway with the lead then in 1.31. Just being forced aside by Shane Murphy as he comes through. He'll be taking the British Championship a few weeks ago. Graphics on his fin plate there. Nicole from Shane Murphy, then your top 2. Stephen Holgate 3rd. And it's looking very much like Shane Murphy will take pole position for the World Final. Davison in 4th. It's really split and on decisions who will be on the outside. It's possibly Tom Davison and Dave Carter. Looking down on what could finish in this race as we're about 1 lap from home this time. Nicole certainly back in the lead. Nicole back in the lead with 1 lap to go. And she holds in tight. And Shane Murphy trying to move out of the way. It's the first win of the series for Nicole Emmett. Only 1.31. What a drive. And the last lunge after the flag there from Davison in 4.61. Nicole Emmett then a great victory. Well done to Nicole. Let's hope she continues throughout the evening. And of course we'll final up next. And a possibility, as she's burning the tyres off the tyres there. Don't burn them too far, you'll need them for the World Final. But yeah, very big well done there, Nicole. Great improvement, and hope you do well in the big race. So just for the points collectors then, Nicole took the winning 1.31, Shane Murphy second in car 80, Tom Davison in 4.61, Stephen Holgate in 51, Shane Geary was 5th in 78, Lawrence Collins 6th in 5.01, Dave Carter 7th in 5.48, Ash Geary 8th in 82, Rob Jones 9th in car 30, and ranging out 10 is James Go-Kart Brown. So if you've just joined us, we are up for the World Final next for the Rebel Racers. The cars have gone through 4 heats, and Shane Murphy, who's taking 2 wins and 2 seconds, looks to be set for pole position. The 4th and final heat has just been won by Nicole Emmett in that 1-3-1. And Nicole's very first victory in the series, and she has shown great promise in the last couple of weeks, and it's great to see her take victory. So the grid being done and draw taking place, and it could be anybody's race, to be fair. There'll be a good shove from midfield where I imagine both Shane and Ash Geary will be positioned. Rob Jones will be trying desperately from just behind them, I believe, in car 30. Tom Davison, who's been quick in the last 2 series, coming in last week, will be trying to get up there as well. So it's going to be a big battle for the lead. And that, of course, in any race produces surprises. And anybody with a steady hand and a steady head could take this year's E-Series 2020 Rebels Racing World Final. And coming into the back of the grid and coming in as a underdog will be Josh Spires in 4.52. So late entry is Josh. And Josh Spires just joining us for this E-Series World Final. Very shortly we're bringing the cars out, and we won't be too far away from that. So we're just waiting on the points accumulation, and Tom will let me know when we're ready to go. So yeah, 1 or 2 issues when we first started the series, of course. That's leveled out from camera points of view, from getting everything on track, and yeah, it's certainly making a difference. And Tom on camera has really improved things here at Rebels Racing. So we hope to continue past the point of the World Final. We've got more races planned in a couple of weeks, and trying to get new interest into the game. So I do have a grid just come through to me. I will talk to you about that grid very shortly, but we are bringing out the drivers also for a parade lap ahead of the World Final. So as thought, then Shane Murphy will start on pole position, and that is favourable, but it could be anybody's race, of course. So just having collected a little bit of data from there, we'll pop back into the server. I'm just waiting for Tomsky to take us back to the track, and then we'll be ready to bring the drivers out. So Josh Spires, a later entry into the programme. And Josh will start at the back of the grid, of course. So the grid will be 81 of Shane Murphy on pole, with car 100/461 of Tom Davison outside. Nicole Emmett has earned herself second row on the inside, so second row on the inside, alongside the shotgun of Shane Geary in 78. Dave Carter on the inside, row 3 of Lawrence Collins on his outside. Then comes Stephen Holgate in 51 with James Go-Kart Brown. And bringing up the rear, the final last full row is Ash Geary, Rob Jones, and completing the full set of cars will be Josh Spires in 4.52. Now we're looking like we've lost a player at the moment. I'm not just checking who we've lost out of there. I think Dave Carter seems to have dropped out of the server, so we're waiting for Dave Carter to come back in. And it does happen occasionally with these servers that they do pop out. So So I'm being told that Dave's had to leave for personal reasons, emergency. So we are going to leave that space, I believe, spare. So that gap will be left. So nobody will fill that gap. So we'll keep that gap on the way around. Or it looks like I'm being told we've moved everybody up one. So that brings an even grid then with Just Buyers at the back of the grid for this big race. Maybe they were sharing cars and it's just jumped cars. Who knows? It's only a game. But yeah. So one or two tuning bits going on in the pits. We're about ready to bring them out, I believe, very shortly for the 2020 Series World Final. Still to come, of course, the revenge race. So after the revenge race, well, it may well be a reverse grid of the World Final. We'll wait and see on that one, of course. And a lot of noise going on in the background, and I look across the screen, it's definitely one of the Gearys that's making all the noise. No. I think it's probably number 78. Oh no, 82. Is doing donuts in the pits. I'm sure he might get loaded for that if he's not careful. Yeah, speeding in the pits is a 20,000 token fine. Or exiting the pits, exiting the track on the wrong direction. I think that's in the game is something like 80,000 tokens fine. As I found out when I went the wrong way around.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
So I believe we are going for a victory.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
So we'll bring the drivers out one by one. I don't actually think we're going to get them out on the podium at the end of the race, to be fair, but it's always possible. This game does develop different things. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to bring out the contestants for this year's 2020 E-Series Rebel Racing Championship. It's been a bit of a rocky start. Everything seems to have come right towards this point of the game. Drivers in and out. And certainly the series could do with a few more drivers. That's not deniable. But there have been some steady, constant drivers in there. And they're about to take place. They'll take their places and take part in this year's World Final. So the pace car will lead them out very shortly. And they will come down and around the track, then go into position. So Shane Murphy will lead them out onto the track, a young man who went from mini stocks and stocks karts back to mini stocks, and then at the age of 16 came into the Rebel Racing fraternity, and certainly Shay has made a name for himself, son of Keith Murphy, of course. Keith, Mr. Bumper Murphy, as I term him, and my comms very regular. It's also very involved with the development of what goes on with the game and the server, and Tom Knighton helping him along with that, as well as Shane Geary. So big part he has played so far in this E-Series, and having taken 2 wins and 2 seconds, a very well deserved position on pole for this evening's grid. At which point he should be emerging from the pits. So we're just waiting for him to come out of the pit gate. And very strangely, you'll see with the game, the pit gate is always closed, but the cars drive through it. Not a clue. Not a clue. Put my hand up, not a clue. But if it works, it works. So Shea's going to lead the cars out then, leaving a gap between each car as they come out on the lap. They're just coming out through the tunnel then around the outside of the inner of the track. There is our pole position for this evening's World Final, and the young man from Coventry, very much involved with the E-Series, and he will lead his pack of drivers onto the track. And a warm welcome then to Shea Murphy in car 81. Shea sponsored by MJS, both on the E-Series and in real life. And Shea will take pole position on this evening's track. Next out will be 461. Started as car 100, the famous number, of course, of the ex-world champion and now Bristol Formula 2 stock car champion Adam Rubery, now racing his car 700. But this is 461 that takes his place on this evening's grid, and on the outside of the front goes Tom Davidson. Nicole Emmett, the young lady from Sheffield, very much improved in the E-Series, and just took her first victory this evening. She will go down and pull in behind those pair on the inside. Then comes Shane Geary, the Frisca Formula 1 stock car driver. Spent a lot of time in and out of Rebels, slot stocks, radio control stock cars, and desperate to go in a banger, I believe. So Shane comes down to join onto the grid in car 78. Dave Carter in 548. He's taking his place on the grid. Drive from a crew in Cheshire. Dave coming down. Started out racing in the 1600s at Buxton. Alongside him then Lawrence Collins. So Lawrence Collins coming down to join the grid from Leicestershire, stroke Loughborough. And at car 501. Stephen Holgate, driver from Nelson in Lancashire. The place of world champions, of course, Len Wolfen, and the Bristol Formula 1 stock car world champion of 1981 was from Nelson in Lancashire. Of course, the famous Nelson Raceway, which was a lot shorter than Coventry, but it was a cracking track to go and watch that. So Stephen Holgate taking his place on the grid. Then comes James Go-Kart Brown in car 900, another Lancashire lad from Morecambe. Then towards the back, as we move down, is Rob Jones in car 30, son of Mark Jones, ex-Bristol Formula 1 stock car driver, of course. And alongside is 82, Ash Geary. Well, Rob Jones going to the back of the grid with Josh Price. So Ash Geary, brother of Shane, Corby, and just line up there. So all the Gearys have been in the racing format of the Rebels, both sons and dad at one stage. So they are in amongst this grid for this World Final. And taking his position on the back of the grid, late entry to the World Final from Evesham, it is Josh Spires. Well, many moons ago, a man from Tamworth looked out and built these Rebels. He was Hans Kidimar, and with just a few words from Hans Kidimar for this World Final.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all ready, because this is going to be the 2020th electrical, PCable, whatever it is-able, World Final. So, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
So a big thank you to Hans and to Kathy for helping, Hans' daughter, for helping get that sorted for us. and I think he deserves another Kit Kat after that, to be honest, Kathy. I hope he's watching tonight. A lot of admiration for Hans, a very long-term friend. We spent many a day just talking on the infield instead of me taking photos and him watching the Rebels, of course. But we are about to go for it. Then we're about to go for the E-Series 2020 World Final, 20 racing laps. The distance, it's over to you, Mr. Starter. 2 rolling laps. Cars, keep your pace and keep the pack tight. At this point we would have music playing, but we have to be careful with copyrights in YouTube and Facebook, etc. So we're not permitted to do that at the moment. But it certainly would be a grand sight. These cars just revving, ready to go. There's the hairs on the back of my neck standing up. This is just an E-Series World Final. Because we all know what a World Final's about. We all know about these big stadiums. Well, we're all missing the racing, of course, because it's not just racing, it's the adrenaline boost. And having been out there and raced, been out as a photographer, now a commentator, it's certainly well and truly installed in my blood. So one more rolling lap to go. Shay keeping the pace nice and tight. May the best driver take victory. Murphy, Davison, Emmett, Geary. Sounds like a song really, that, doesn't it? Brown, Holgate, Carter, Collins, justifies a late entry. Or will it be Jones in car 30? Well, very soon the green will drop, and away we go then. 20 laps of action. One or two up on the top of the infield already for James Go-Kart Brown and Rob Jones. Tom Davison's got a good jump start there on Murphy. Murphy trying to be opened up on the inside by Geary in 78. Already the race starting to bed in, and we did say this would be quite an exciting world final. In goes a bumper from Murphy. And he's going to get caught. The leaders have gone round the outside, shoots a Shane Shotgun Geary. Boom, into the lead. Can he hold on? Well, the charging from Stephen Holgate and being fired into the back of him by his brother Ash Geary as they come into the turn. Geary with a lead. And still a good 17, 18 laps to go of this world final. And Shane Geary with the lead from Josh Spires, the man started at the back of the field. We've said there could be some surprises. He's come through from the back of the grid to second place currently, just ahead of Murphy in car 81. Well, what a cracking race so far, and in true Rebel style. Though I do hope Hans is watching this. He will be so proud of these drivers out there on this raceway, because we always used to stand and talk about these fiery starts of big races with these Rebels, and he either got 5 or 6 laps out of them, or it was on a restart. Geary under pressure then from Spires and Murphy, and very much a train coming into the pit turn. The inside of Geary opened up there by Spires in 4.52. Murphy's going to use Geary as a cue ball. Bang! In they go onto the turn. Geary bounces out and around he goes back to the attack. And the lead is with Murphy. Murphy gets a big lunge there from Spires across the infield. And down into turn 3. Just Spires will lead. Murphy attacking again. Let's look further back then and see what's happening. Tom Davison and Nicole Emmett. Well, there could be a big surprise. Halfway, Shane Murphy from Just Spires, Tom Davison, Nicole Emmett. Oh, commentator's curse, she's spun. My apologies, young lady. But she's about to rejoin, so still a good distance to go. Shane Murphy then from Just Spires, from Tom Davison. Let's get on board behind the leader there with Josh Spires down into the turn 4. Nicole Emmett spun again, hooked up on the inner curve. Murphy trying to keep a good distance, so Spires can't get a good hit. But Jones just had a fair good call, some issues there as they come into the pit turn. Back out of turn 4. There is Jones. Jones needs to be disposed of, but then gets the bumper from Spires. Straight onto the back of Murphy. Murphy now finding the rough ride around the outside. And Josh Spires up and over the inner curve there. Spins out Rob Jones, the back marker. 5 laps next time, Mr. Starter. 5 laps. Shane Murphy, your lead car. Tom Davison in 461 coming up into third, and it still is anybody's race as we go into the closing stages of this 2020 World Final. Shane Murphy though looking good at the front, coming up behind one of the Gearys, causing him an issue. Shane Geary then a lap down, just about to be locked by the lead car. And the shotgun out of shape. Oh, who's that coming off the infield? Lawrence Collins, that's caused a few issues. And Lawrence Collins attacking on Murphy there. Murphy with the lead. And Josh Spires in 4.52. Lawrence Collins in 9.01. Round goes Spires then, so Tom Davison goes up into second. Murphy from Davison. Whoa, where's Geary going? I think he's certainly missed there, wherever he was going. I must get my 4-ohm controller into the 7. Shane Murphy then leads from Tom Davison and Josh Spires back into third. Last lap coming up this time around then. Last lap this time around for Shane Murphy. And it still is an open race. Murphy disposes of the back markers. Davison not far behind. Lawrence Collins trying to catch back, and Davison gets caught there by Lawrence Collins. Josh Spires comes back up into play. The last lap board is out. Shane Murphy in car 81 then looking set to take the 2020 E-Series World Final here at Coventry on his home turf. The local lad about to drop the flag, and there we go. It's Shane Murphy that takes victory in car 81. Tom Davison second, Josh Spires in third. That's your top 3 for the 2020 World Final for the Rebel Racers. What a cracking race. Oh, hang on, we've got one more lap to go. So the laps have gone up. So we were told 20 in the original. Looks like we've gone for 24. And Shane Murphy still taking the victory, so no change at the front. But certainly change the laps. So yeah, originally we were told 20 laps, that's increased to 24 of course. But no change for the top 3. Shane Murphy takes victory. Tom Davison second, Josh Spires in third, Stephen Holgate fourth, Shane Shotgun Geary in fifth, Go-Kart Brown in sixth, Ash Geary in seventh, Lawrence Collins eighth, Nicole Emmett having spun back into ninth, and Rob Jones in 10th. Lots of donuts from Murphy. Of course, Phillips Commercials also a sponsor, and also Paul Phillips Racing Rebels many years ago, as long as the Brisker Formula 2 stock cars, and I believe they're going to Brisker Formula 1 at one stage from Phillips Commercials. So just one more race to go this evening from Coventry, the World Final Revenge Race. Well, that could be very interesting. That could be very interesting indeed. So a big well done to Shane Murphy, a very well victory, and another title to add to the young man's long list that he's starting to take. Does show is at car 80 in the game, of course. His real number, of course, 81 on the track. So yes, just a quick change there. So Ash Geary, not the lap slightly different for him. He actually finished in 5th place ahead of Shane in 78. Go-Kart Brown down to 7th. Ash Geary, of course, gone up. So Lawrence Collins in then Nicole and Rob Jones. So yeah, we're going back to the story Rebels. Of course, we're in the back of a bus depot garage, so we're involved in Anne's Kiddimar's workshop, and Anne's setting out to achieve a sport that people said probably wouldn't take off, a sport that was even, a sport that couldn't be tampered with, sealed engines, sealed gearboxes, certain axles, certain weight limit of adjustment on the car, little suspension, and no, it was, I wanted to very, very sceptical, but today we see fields of 35 cars, and there's probably still way more that chassis out there. I think it was over 70, 80 chassis lying around the country, so it just shows that from little things do grow great prosperous things, and this formula having lasted, well, to my knowledge, over 25 years at least. So big well done to Hans Kiddimar, a great tribute to the man to have him say start your engines for us this evening. And we know he's not too well at the moment, but Hans, we don't forget you, my friend. So the Rebellion Revenge will be a closed graded grid. So the cars will be out for that one very shortly. And could it be a big night all over for Shea Murphy? 2 wins, 2 seconds. And newly crowned world champion for the E-Series. Can he take the Rebellion Revenge?
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Well, big well done to all the drivers that have taken part this evening. It's certainly been great to commentate for you on your world final, and of course we will be back in a couple of weeks' time with more racing from the Rebel E series and possibly some new formats to come. Who knows? And trying to keep it as live as possible. Not sure what I think we will continue with Saturday evenings, but obviously as tracks start to open up, my commitment as a commentator may be that it would be when I'm not at a track. So obviously commentating behind closed doors as well. So the green flag's down, away we go then. And that wasn't too much of a closed grid, but certainly no idea where the closed grid disappeared to. But Nicole Emmett keen for a second win. Try not to spin out this one. Rob Jones, hello, Mr. Jones, where did that power come from? Well, Rob Jones, I think, had been an Ida driver for this one. And off into the lead goes Rob Jones from James Go-Kart Brown. Lunge, big lunge at one of the gearies there. Oh, hello, Josh Spies, where did you come from? Straight across the infield and straight into Dave Carter. Well, yeah, okay, it is a revenge race. Was it a demolition derby for the Rebels? Well, who knows? Let's not mention that to Shane Geary, because he will just go in any direction he feels. Having seen him racing series bangers and sit on the corner for the whole race, just going backwards and forwards, well, there's enough to be said there. Rob Jones leads from James Kirkart Brown. Oh, hello. Lawrence Collins being fired out there by one of the Gearys. And getting battered now by Shane Murphy. And Josh is just going from one end to the other across the infield. So I think Nicole Emmett's decided to throw. Yeah, she's going through head on. She's definitely blocking off the turn. So she's blocking off turn 4 in banger style. And maybe we ought to talk to Nicole, see if she's going to go out in the banger when the cars come back. That could be interesting. But, oh, hello. In goes Go-Kart Brown. Oh, that was not quite a successful attack as he thought, because Nicole kept going and he just ended up the fence. Shay puts him in as well. Leads with Rob Jones. We're over halfway. Shay Murphy's gone for a trip across the infield to join Josh Spires. And it really is much of a revenge. Hello, Stephen Holgate on the Oppo out of turn 3. And there he is. That's Shane Geary, no doubt. Shane has gone on Oppo. Well, all that can be said, you know, Geary on Oppo is just, well, there's just no words to be said about that at all. And let's go back. Oh, Ash Geary's leading. Where did he come from? Go-Kart Brown's gone for a spin to the infield. Just Spies are going in. Yes, well, settle. Shane up over the rails there from Shane Murphy. So, what does it look like, the dog track, Mr. Geary? Rob Jones is attacking our newcomer. The newcomer climbs aboard the back of Nicole Emmett. Oh, in we go. It's been took out by Nicole Emmett now, and they're all going to pop in down there. Oh, this is chaos. Absolute chaos. I thought I was back at Birmingham with Champion of Champions for a minute then. Oh, Ash Geary's going to have a go at leading now. In 82. Well, he thinks he's going to get fired out by Shane Murphy. He's a couple of laps down now. Nicole gets spun round. Oh, my word. Nicole's back end's dragging the track. James Go-Kart Brown's just been T-boned. End of turn 3. Nicole's going to have a T-bone Shane Murphy in revenge on that one. And Tom Davison coming across. Josh Spires has missed. Josh Spires, oh, big head on the back straight from Shane Geary. No words can be said for the man. He's just, he is. Yeah, I do think he'd be better in a banger than a Bristol Formula 1, to be fair. So Ash Geary takes the win. Stephen Holgate in second. Rob Jones in third. And from want of anything else, I think Entertainer's got to go to Nicole for that, for just turning it off and just doing most of the field. But great racing from you guys, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time with more racing on the E-Series. Hopefully a few more drivers to watch along the way. Congratulations to Shane Murphy. We're just going to try and get Shane for a quick few words before we go. Big thanks to Tom Knighton for doing the camera work and running the server for us. Tom Davison will be back later to join us. Hello.
Hello.
Earth to Murphy.
Hello, I'm here. Hello.
Fancy sending Shane Geary to the dog trap. That's terrible, that is. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Congratulations on what you've done with the E-Series. I take it we've got some more to come in a few weeks' time once we've sorted one or two things out.
Yeah, we'll carry it on, just not as often.
Yeah, I think, in fairness, I think probably once a week is probably a little bit too much. Maybe, you know, it's once a fortnight, but you're probably going to find you're going to get some more drivers, which will be great for the viewers out there who are watching. It'd be a shame to see it go, because we have, you know, Rebels has been here a long time, and Rebels needs to be out there in the media, needs to be seen. So yeah, well done on what you've done so far.
Thank you.
How's your dad doing?
Ah, he's alright. He's alright.
Yeah.
He did Northampton on the game, and he was rubbish, so he just packed it in.
Did he get the bumper in? That's the main thing.
He put himself in a few tyres. That's about it.
Oh my word! Oh my word! So yeah, as I say to the viewers, we are back. We are going to be back in a few weeks. So keep watching on the Rebels page. We're not
Yeah.
disappearing.
Yeah.
We're just having a chance to put our heads together and come back in probably slightly different format.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the drivers at the race tonight are keen to come back and do some more.
Yeah, I think so. Like, racing ain't coming back anytime soon, I don't think. So,
Well, as I was saying for the commentary, Shay, you can't tell at a minute because what the government are issuing and what the government aren't issuing, but then you've got to think sensibly, and it's all about insurance, it's all about what regulations are put in place, and
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it will come back. It's coming back. It's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow thing. I mean, we've got bangers at Aldershot tomorrow, as you know.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, and that's being transmitted via TV. We've got practice sessions for those that haven't heard coming up at Birmingham Wheels. So
Yeah.
booking for your practice up there, get your Rebel out, blow some dust off it.
Yeah, already been booked done last week.
I was going to say, yeah, take your dad out. Tell him not to crash into tyres when he's out in his real one.
Yeah, I think he's a bit better in real life, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell him not to look for the X. The X button will not get him back on the track. But yeah, I mean, it'd be good to see guys out there practicing at least. If you're out there practicing, then post photos of your cars all over Facebook and everywhere. Make sure
Yeah.
the name of Rebels stays well and truly alive until we do get back fully racing. And of course, Anne's doing that message for us. Anne's the originator of the formula.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Anne's will be able to come and watch some racing when we do get back on track.
Hopefully.
So congratulations, mate. We'll see you
Thank
in a
you.
couple of weeks. Regards to the family, and we'll catch up when we come back with Rebels E-Series Racing.
Yeah. Thank you.
For myself, all the team here at E-Series, myself, Andy Hankin, Tom Knighton on the camera, Jay Murphy, who does all the admin behind the scenes, work with the E-Series, from Rachel at Rebels, who looks after our points, etc., and everybody else that's raced and been involved. Have a good couple of weeks. We'll see you soon. Good night.